Let's look back at the best bits of our opening Endurance Cup race. Everybody going for that trophy. You can see the manufacturers that have conquered over recent years. It was Maro Engel starting on pole position. There was a good getaway by Benji Goethes' McLaren, which did briefly get ahead, but it was behind where the first drama really came about as the cars argued their way down towards turn one. Robin Knudsen's Porsche being tagged and turned across the front. Baptiste Moulin's McLaren being eliminated as well. Dean McDonald then got caught and spun going through turn two. That car still recovering from its spin to finish in 5th position. So up front, 48 Mercedes, Maro Engel at the lead, continued to build the lead. There were some good scraps going on further down the order. Kelvin van der Linde's BMW, for example, chipping its way up the order. And then we have this drama with the Ferrari of Lulu Wadu being turned around by Marie Poyer. Pit stop cycling through. This was one of the scary moments. 𝙎𝙪𝙥𝙚𝙚𝙙 going flat chat up the inside, launching himself over the curb. Not a lift, and he actually came out ahead after all of that, getting through the traffic. Brave, brave stuff indeed. Daylight started to disappear. Battles, though, continued on apace as number 59, the recovering McLaren, chipped its way back ahead of number 17 Mercedes that ultimately would drop to 7th place. The fireworks, a distraction for drivers, but another added extra for the huge number of fans at the circuit. And the car that had been pitching for the lead, the Lion Speed GP Porsche, pushed into its garage and retirement as Lance Stroll got ready for his GT3 debut. On track, battles still raged, but for the number 3 Mercedes, problems. It was losing ground, and then there was further drama. Dan Harper having to avoid a spinning Tommaso Mosca, tagged into it by Thomas Drouet. All of this overseen by Max Verstappen, whose face didn't give much away, but the pace of his Mercedes was starting to evaporate and places being lost. Jules Gounod driving, feeling under the weather, but then Chris Lullen and Danny Juncadella struggling with the balance and the handling of the car late on. We then had a full course yellow, which converted to a safety car when we went racing. It still looked as though Lucas Hauer had enough in hand, but Nicky Team had other ideas. He was quickly through the traffic. He was on the attack as the cars charged their way along the Mistral. He got closer and closer and closer, and eventually forced a mistake out of Lucas Hauer with just round about 6 minutes to go. Hauer twitching wide coming out of senior. He ran off the road. The door was open. Through went Nicky Team into the lead of the race. Hauer tried to fight back. He was 0.8 of a second behind at the very end, but it was enough. Honours to the Aston Martin. Nicky Team, Mathieu Drudi, Marco Sorensen victorious in the first Endurance Cup round of the GT World Challenge Europe 2026 season.